I'd like to welcome guest James Trombley, who spent several years in the Special Forces and has worked with both the CIA and the State Department in the Middle East. He's also running to become a state representative in Texas. So, James, thank you very much for joining us today. Last night, we saw a lot of moving parts regarding the Iran situation. A lot of it was true, a lot of it was false. We kind of followed that 24-hour rule as of right now, so we know a little bit more information. That's been verified. What's your response to what happened last night?
Yeah, for the attacks last night, that was more posturing for them, right? They got to save face. I mean, there's no way they're going to hit us head on the lines, And I think it's really important to understand that Iranians have been in Iraq and been influencing that war for years since day one. So, I was one of the first vehicles into Iraq during the invasion in 2003, and I was there every single year until December 2013. There was multiple occasions where we found caches, Iranian fighters. At one point, when I was a contractor, I was actually tasked to go pick up the Iranian ambassador to take him to Bayab to identify Iranian prisoners that were attacking our military, that were captured by our military. So to think that this conflict started with President Trump taking out that general is ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, the only bad thing about that attack is that it should have happened years ago. But unfortunately, as we all know, our last administration didn't have the spine to pull the trigger. So it's great on our current administration and President Trump to do what he did.
What is the next step now for the administration after last night's attack? What should we be looking for?
We got to continue the pressure. We can't give in. I mean, this is a culture where you give them an inch to take a mile. And we saw that with the last administration. Definitely the right answer is not delivering pallets of unmarked money. That's not something that's a solution that we need to look for. Keep the pressure on them. Let them know that we're here to fight, that America's first, and that we're not going to stand down. And that's how they're going to react, and that's how we can move forward. I'm hoping it can be diplomatically solved, going forward at this point. But at the same time, we have the greatest military in the world. We're not afraid to stand up and fight for our freedoms in our country. So we will continue to do that and continue to help others. So again, like I said, I hope it doesn't go to that. I hope it diplomatically go through. They did their posturing. They saved their face. Let's go ahead and start talking it through. But at the end of the day, we need to keep that pressure on them.
But Iran in this situation, too, I mean, it's been about 24 hours since that attack where we know a little bit more about that situation. It looks like they weren't trying to actually take out U.S. personnel. It looks like they may have intentionally missed some targets. It may have looked like they were trying to save some face in front of the Iranian people without aggravating the United States too much. What is the Iranian response, do you think, now at this point?
They're going to keep posturing. They're going to keep talking to people. They're going to have the rallies. They're going to have the propaganda put out. They're going to show the videos of the rockets going off. I think they're going to have a little bit of mishap with what happened with the airlines that happened. But I think at this point, they got to just keep saving face, right? That's what they're pointing right now. They won't come to the table. I don't think there's going to be a negotiation. I think next week, this is going to be a story that we don't even talk about anymore. They're going to be quiet. They're going to disappear. They're not going to have any more issues here. However, if I'm wrong and they do, again, we'll be standing ready.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying, too, is that Iran kind of launching a military attack would be essentially a suicidal mission for them. I mean, the Iranian regime, they like their cushy positions of power up in their billion-dollar fortresses that they stay in. The people of Iran, meanwhile, are suffering very much so. I mean, the situation in Iran, they don't have the support of the people, they don't have the economy behind them, and they don't have the military might to match the United States. So a lot of people saying that maybe yesterday's attack was something just to kind of show face in front of the people, make it seem like they're strong, and any true response may be something a little bit more down the line, maybe through their proxies, using Hezbollah against Israel, or maybe lone wolf attacks in Europe or the United States even, things such as that. Is that something that the U.S. government, do you think, is preparing for right now? Or do you think that their direction right now is more so at the immediate, figuring out what happened last night and what we can do to curb any future conflicts?
No, I think their main focus is going to be on the outside attacks. I mean, this is Iran's MO, right? They go right to the line and they don't cross it. But they're very good at playing the surrogate war, right? They infiltrate other countries. They help facilitate other warriors and fighters that fight against the American people. That's what they do. And I know there's going to be cells across the world, really, that we're identifying and targeting and making sure that they're not going to come active. We have again, I can't express how much that our great military is and our intelligence is across the seas. Yeah. They're absolutely looking at every angle.
Yeah, and it's even something worth being said. You can't be critical of the government in most other countries, especially Iran. And the fact that we can even have this debate in the United States about whether or not we believe intelligence, whether or not this is the right decision, it's a freedom that kind of goes underappreciated during these times. I mean, we could put politics to the side. The fact that you and I can even have this conversation is something that we should be grateful for at the end of the day, that they don't share in Iran. But before I let you go, too, you're running for a Texas House seat right now. You're trying to make a difference in your home district. Can you speak a little bit about your campaign and what changes that you're looking to implement?
Yeah, absolutely. I spent 14 years overseas on a battlefield out there, and I came home just to find, a different battlefield in a sense. We have a lot of elected officials that have that selfish career mentality that's, it's really destroyed American politics and is spiraling Texas out of control. I want to go there and I want to be a voice for the people and actually represent the people to us and not the other way around. The corruption that we've recently had within the ranks needs to go. We need fighters there that are willing to stand up and really have a spine and fight for the Republican priorities. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a lot of rhinos that we have in the House that are not, passing bills that's actually supporting and strengthening our Constitution or our state.
Right.
And that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that my kids can grow up in the state that I love.
Yeah, we have your website right up right now for all of our viewers who want to learn more information about your campaign. But James, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, giving your expertise on this very complex issue moving forward. And we wish you luck with your upcoming campaign as well.